Today, we're in Galveston, Texas. Galveston is known for its family-friendly atmosphere, its relaxing beaches, rich history, and yeah, it's definitely a seafood lover's town. But they're also cooking up all kinds of killer bites, including pizza, pasta, tacos, and desserts. During Mardi Gras season, Galveston boasts one of the biggest parades this side of the Mississippi. And if you're lucky, you just might catch some beads. That breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, at Sunflower Bakery, they're making all kinds of yummy food, including breakfast.
We're over here at Sunflower Bakery and Cafe, where they got a killer crab cake and a shrimp dish that you gotta see. And joining me right now is Juan Cardona, General Manager out here at Sunflower Bakery and Cafe, and we have 3 dishes in front of us that look absolutely amazing. Breakfast, brunch, this is where you want to go here in Galveston, right?
For sure. I think it's everybody's favorite.
That's the real deal.
For sure.
Ooh. That corned beef is what's up. That is delicious. The texture on there is amazing. Super tender. It's just falling apart. The potatoes are cooked perfectly. The hollandaise is just the right amount of buttery, lemony goodness that you want added to it. And then the bell peppers that are in there as well. It really adds another bright, rich level to like all the flavor dimensions that you have. So you have the crunch, you have the savory, you have the buttery. This is a well-rounded dish. It's really good. I'll take another bite.
All right, go ahead.
Today we're starting off with corned beef hash. It comes with 2 poached eggs, the hollandaise sauce on there. Absolutely incredible. The hollandaise sauce has that little bit of lemon twist to it, so you get a little bit of that citrus in there, but it really has this savory, unctuous feel to it. It's like the ultimate brunch bite. The potatoes are cooked right, and the little bell peppers in there give a really nice texture and a really good crunch. It's a really nice, well-rounded dish. So these are crab cakes, all sourced with local crab meat. It's in Port Arthur, Texas. And you got some green beans on the side as well. So I'm gonna go right into it.
Yeah, go ahead. And I'll join you.
Join me, come on, we gotta go in for it.
So, like I said, there's plenty of crab meat.
They're so tender, look at, they're falling apart because they're just full of crab. And it's just, it really is like 99% crab meat. A little bit of breading in there.
For sure.
Just enough to hold it all together.
Exactly. And then crispy green beans, a little bit of, seasoned with tomatoes and the red onions. I mean, the combination is perfect.
They're creamy, they're salty, and then they're buttery. You're doing everything right. And the fresh veggies on the side. The crab cakes are so delicious, I had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. Incredible. They are so buttery. They're like 99%, they're like 99.9% crab, okay? This is like the Lysol of crab cakes. The outside is seared to perfection, has a nice brown golden texture on there. You cut into it, it's just crab. All it is that lump white crab meat falling apart, super buttery, perfect amount of salt, perfect amount of pepper, and then you have the fresh veggies on the side. It is the ultimate killer dish, and it would rival anything from New England. I think it's one of the best crab cakes I've ever had my whole life. This monstrosity of a creation right here. So how do you grill them? What do you do?
Okay, so what we do is cut them down the middle, slap a bunch of real butter, real butter, and throw them on the grill. And if you can flip it over, see how that,
look at that.
Yeah, so it's nice, nice crunch on them.
Wow.
And you see all that sugar, just,
All right, I gotta take a bite. Now, this is the bakery part of this whole deal.
Yes.
Because you guys are making all your own stuff. You have cakes, you have pies, you have all kinds of sweets, and this is just one of them. 3 words. Grilled cinnamon bun. Enough said. Juan, 20 years, you guys have been killing it out here, and I understand why. The dishes that you're making out of the kitchen are amazing. Your baked goods are next level. This is insane, and I want to take all of this home and eat the center. I bet you that center is just out of control. Thank you so much for having us out here.
No problem.
And I'm gonna keep eating this, but you guys, if you want something real and like just delicious when you come out to Galveston for breakfast or brunch, this is the place you come to.
Appreciate it.
There's a reason why the Sunflower Bakery and Cafe has been here for 20 years. Their baked items are absolutely delicious. The staff is very friendly, and all of their things coming out of the kitchen are just out of the park. It is a really awesome place to come visit. Bring the family. Everyone will find something they love.
Right now, we're heading over to the Fish Company Taco Shop where they're making, you guessed it, tacos.
When you're in Galveston, of course you want to try some of the best seafood restaurants around, but why not try one of the best seafood restaurants in the United States? That's why we're over here at Fish Company Taco, where they're getting Chinese food and Mexican food and blending it together. Let's go check it out. Joining me now is the executive chef and owner, Dea Myers-Hurt, and then in front of us you have this whole spread
Absolutely.
of delicious food. And you know, Fish Company Taco is a place where you come to when you're here in Galveston if you're in the know. Because this is the spot where it's not necessarily like right off the beaten path. Like you gotta kind of know where you're
Absolutely.
going. But you have so many accolades and so many like things. I mean, I came in and I was like, oh my gosh, you've done a lot. And you've only been here for 2 years.
It'll be 2 years in June, absolutely.
And you're making like top lists in the United States for what you're cranking out here.
Some of the first places I ever had Vietnamese food or Thai food was in Amarillo, Texas, which is just kind of weird for people who aren't from there. Exactly.
I went to Amarillo to get some Asian food.
You know, and then of course there's always, you know, like different comfort dishes. Like this is congee, which is like a Chinese rice porridge, but for me it kind of fills the same slot that grits do.
Okay.
So this is a grilled golden tile. My fish of the day changes every day. I go down to the market and first check to see what looks the freshest, and then secondly I check to see if it's sustainable. No, all right. Conservation tastes good.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much.
The seasoning and the crust that you form on the outside of the fish, absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
It has a really nice texture to it. I've had a lot of food in my day, and I've had a lot of food doing this job, but I've never had anything quite like this soup. It has a little bit of saltiness to it inside the rice porridge, but then you have the fish that's cooked perfectly, the seasoning on top that's a little spicy, and you blend it all together with some of that dollar weed, which I've never had dollar weed before in my life. And it is absolutely delicious.
It always varies what size it is, depending on the size of fish that I have. Sometimes I have huge fish, sometimes I have smaller fish, and this is literally the throat, and then I cut it down into the belly part, which is that soft, fatty part of the fish.
And the throats are traditionally more tender.
Absolutely.
Right? They're gonna have a lot more like condensed flavor.
Absolutely. So in this one, I've got some pickled cabbage, that Taiwanese cabbage, that's really spicy, kind of like a El Salvadoran style.
Okay.
And then I'm making some I'm fermenting some fresh kimchi. Also, I'm keeping that vegan, so I use pineapple juice. So I had a bunch of pineapple left over, so I also made a pineapple salsa. So there's quite a bit of kick in this one. More so than what I normally have.
Oh wow, yeah.
But you know, San Antonio, so I thought.
The pickling on there
Thank you.
is where it's at.
Thank you very much.
That vinegar just rounds out everything. It really adds that bright flavor to it that you need with the fried food. And then you have that seasoning on there. It got a little kick to it, but it's more flavor than anything. And then you have such a nice crunch on the outside of there.
The fins are edible. I like to scoop up some of the stuff with them. It's like the chicharron of the fish.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That's really fun. That is so creative, and I love how you played around with it, the different colors, and you had elevation on the plate. You know what you're doing out here, chef.
Thank
you know
you
what's
very
going
much.
on. On the menu is a rotating fish collar, so it's different fish, all reasonably and sustainably caught, and it's brought in here, and the chef breaks it all down and creates this fantastic dish. It's tempura battered, lightly seasoned with a little bit of spice to it, and then it has pickled veggies on the bottom. So you get a little bit of the pickled veggies, you get a bite of the fish all together, and then the fin is fried and it's crunchy, so you can then get it like a little chip and pick up all the rest of the stuff on the plate with it. It's a really fun, interesting, and creative dish.
We plate them in order that they should be eaten when you order all of them. We start with the basic Baja. This is on everything is made in-house. Sauces, tortillas, everything.
Wonderful.
So this is a blue corn tortilla. Again, another nod to the fact that I'm from Amarillo, which is way closer to New Mexico than it is to the Rio Grande Valley. This is a Korean taco. So we've got 2 different sauces on there. We have a sauce made that we call faux show sauce, and then we have a kimchi puree, which isn't a true kimchi. It takes all of the flavors of kimchi and then we just kind of blend it together. This is a Vietnamese, so it's literally our house-made nuoc mam that is tossed with the cabbage, carrots, Thai basil, cilantro, mint. This is probably the cleanest taco. It's why it sits there, because between this one and this one, it's like a palate cleanser.
Oh, okay.
And then this last one is the Empire taco.
Well, I'm gonna take this one. I'd like for you to grab one as well. Anyone you want.
I'm gonna go for the Dad's Funa cheese, because
Nice.
every time I say it, I get to say Dad.
And Chef, you're just making some really extremely delicious things out here. The fusion that you're doing is incredible.
Thank you very much.
All the fresh items,
Cheers.
you can tell when you're looking at it, it's all fresh. You guys got to come out here when you're in Galveston. Fish Company Taco is the place to come. And you can see everybody in here, they're either waiting for the food or they're already eating their food because it's just delicious. And I got to try those Brussels sprouts. Great crunch and a little spice to them as well. You know what you're doing out here. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Oh, man. I get it. It's so good. Oh, really good.
Thank you very much. Napkins were a thing. That would have been a thing.
I know, right? I've been holding this in my hand the whole time we've been talking. Tacos is in the name of the restaurant, so you know when you come out here, you gotta try them. You can get a taco flight that has 5 different tacos that you eat in a certain order, and they're all made with fresh tortillas and locally sourced ingredients. And you go from a really bright and delicious taco that's really delicate, all the way to this really savory Chinese-style sauce on the fish. And if you really want to try the different flavors that the chef is preparing out here, you have to do the taco flight.
Later in the show, an Italian place that is exclusively serving up Nello's finest shrimp. Coming up next on Texas Eats, we're checking out the Galveston Shrimp Company to see how the shrimp gets from the boats to your local H-E-B.
Welcome back to Texas Eats. We're in Galveston, Texas, a huge vacation spot for anybody that lives here in Texas, but it's also one of the largest shrimping distributors in the United States. In fact, over here at Galveston Shrimp Company, they're supplying the United States with almost 17% of the shrimp that they consume annually. And they partnered up with H-E-B just about 10 years ago. So we're gonna go inside their facility and see how they're doing it. Is that on right? Joining me is owner Nello Casarino. These look delicious. All of these shrimp, look at this. They're just ready for a little bit of butter and some garlic. They're ready to get tossed in some pasta.
We go through a process of taking the heads off of it. We go through a grading process. Then we go through a freezing process.
And you know, the boats bring in all the shrimp, of course. They don't just magically swim over here and you get put into a box. So how many boats, how many ships are in your fleet that go out?
Right now, we have a little bit over 80 committed vessels, and we're generating, this plant generated about 12 million pounds of finished product last year.
Wow. It's a super deep facility, and there's this huge room where I just want to go play, and it just has ice stacked up to the ceiling. And you just want to go in there and make little ice balls and like throw them at each other. It probably hurt, but it'd be a lot of fun.
I'm second generation. My father started this company in 1978. He was a fisherman, and him and my mom would come in after shrimping all day, and they would sell their catch to the local restaurants. So he opened up a fish house where all the boats would come in, he'd unload it and try to sell their catches. And up until 1994, when I took over, my father was a mom and pop shop that you could, you know, just like your local bakery, where you would get your fresh shrimp. Well, we've just recently started to bring in Florida pinks, Key West pinks. And to me, the flavor profile of that shrimp is just the best in the world. Literally the best in the world. And I've had shrimp all over the world. And
That's the one.
That's the one. That's the one.
You got to get your Key West pinks right there. Now, if people wanted to get their hands on the shrimp, say they don't want to go to H-E-B necessarily, but they're here in Galveston and they want to go eat it like right now, is there a restaurant nearby that's serving up your products?
Yes, Riando's is exclusively serving our shrimp. The chef Rico comes every morning, picks up what he wants to cook for lunch, and you can have it for lunch there. Great chef, great chef.
I'm already eyeballing like 4 or 5 of these to get put into some kind of a butter sauce or something. So we're gonna head on over to Riando's over there off the Strand. We're gonna check out what they got on the menu, and you know I gotta eat some shrimp over there. Thank you so much, Nello.
Hey, thank you.
When you're shopping at H-E-B and you grab your bag of frozen shrimp, you wouldn't think there's this many steps that go into getting it to that point. In my head, it was like off the boat, pop a head off, freeze it, and then you put it into a bag. But there are so many steps. There's the cleaning, there's the deheading is a whole thing all in itself, making sure they're clean in every process. And there's accountability everywhere. These little droids are counting up the weight as they go. It is a really cool process, and it is a lot more detail than I thought it was gonna be.
Later in the show, we take you to a place called Cajun Greek, and you'll never guess what kind of food they're dishing out. Coming up next on Texas Eats, an Italian place that is exclusively serving up Nello's finest shrimp.
All right, now we're inside Riando's. All the food looks absolutely amazing. Made fresh using the shrimp you catch, and you're boxing up and you're sending over here. How cool is it that you actually get to see like from start to finish, and then there's a restaurant that's using it and making some exquisite looking dishes. This looks like artwork. You can take a picture of this and put this in the MoMA. You got something going on. I think this is just gorgeous. I have the shrimp scampi in front of me. You have the shrimp marinara. I'm gonna go in for it. We have these little spoons because we got to eat it the right way. Now, what is your relationship with the restaurant? How long have you known them over here?
Well, my family has known Rico for over 25 years, and he's just an excellent chef. He buys all the shrimp from us. We come here for family outings, after church.
So this is your spot.
After you taste it, you'll know why.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm gonna go in for it. Just gonna get some shrimp.
It's insane.
Super fresh. It's bright. I'd almost use the word brilliant, right? It's like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You got the garlic, you got the butter in there, you have the different seasonings that bring it all around. This is how shrimp should be served. Which one, like if somebody, this was their first time here, which dish would you recommend? Maybe it's not one of these, but is there a dish on the menu that you would say that's the one you have to try when you're
No,
out
and I really couldn't honestly give you like one dish. This guy, I mean, he's amazing, and he cooks different variations. I mean, this is all shrimp dishes. There's 5 dishes here, and they all taste different. And, you know, here, try this one.
Okay. We can hang out more.
Yeah.
This is what we'll be doing. Absolutely just amazing dishes out here. This one is a different noodle. You have more of a cream sauce to it. Check out, this is just the pasta. That's, okay. Every time I have another dish, I'm like, that's my favorite one. That one's really
Now,
good.
all his pasta's homemade here. He makes all this pasta here. So this is
Really?
not like store-bought pasta, right?
So you're just a magician then, right? You're just a pasta magician. And then the shrimp that comes with it. Oh.
Yeah, this is just insane.
This one, compared to the other dishes that I've had, the shrimp is delicate. It's really tender. And it really, once again, it shines through. It's taking on some of the elements from the dish itself, so it's pulling on from that cream sauce. But then you have the asparagus that's in there that has that wonderful texture to it, so has a nice bite. Every dish is a home run. You look like you're enjoying that one. You haven't even tried. You're just going to town on that one. You can attempt to try to make something like this at home by using the shrimp that you can get at H-E-B. That's over from the Galveston Shrimp Company. You probably won't hit that mark because you got to come here at Riando's to get the good stuff. You could try.
You can try.
But getting the shrimp is a good start. Thank you so much. Give me some love. That's good, man. This is a fun place. And then we got a bottle of wine on the table. Where's that?
Later in the show, if you're thinking about getting some shrimp and stuff, we have the perfect place for you. Coming up next on Texas Eats, we take you to a place called Cajun Greek, and you'll never guess what kind of food they're dishing out.
Welcome back to Texas Eats. Located right outside of downtown Galveston is a restaurant that's serving up these massive platters with fish, crawfish, shrimp, and pretty much every other thing you can find in the river or the sea. Let's go inside Cajun Greek. Now we're inside the Cajun Greek, and with me right here, Elon Jessica, the GM and the owner out here. It's a family-owned business, but he's the boss, okay? Right in front of us is a platter of seafood goodness. This is like if you got to the ocean and a little bit of the river action too, and you just scooped up all the goodness and you put it on a platter right here. You got the snapper, the shrimp, the crawfish in the front. But this is what you're known for out here, right?
Yes, sir. We're probably the best out of it.
You're the best one doing it,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, this platter, named and called BOI, Born on the Island.
Born on the island, okay.
And it came out just one of my dreams, just to go to a place and have really just seafood, a combination, a little bit of everything. So it got developed over the year, and people basically custom make them. And today, you can see the head-on shrimp too.
Oh, man.
And you can add anything you want to it, a sausage, mushroom, corn, any kind of fish. This is a snapper, about 1.5 pounds.
Wow.
And
You do what you want. You can build it out.
yes, and it's a get-together. You know, that's a platter like that, probably 4 people gonna enjoy it for a good 30, 40 minutes.
I hope 4 people will enjoy it. It's a lot of food. Well, let's start digging into it. The moment this platter comes to your table, it will blow you away. It's massive. They have all kinds of different fish and seafood on it. And the coolest part about this is that you can customize it any way you want. Oh. Okay, so Cajun Greek. Why Cajun and why Greek and why fused together?
Very accidentally. Years ago, was a guy, Papa Jones. He was a Greek that's wanted to cook some seafood and crawfish, so he called it the Cajun Greek. And everybody just kept the name, you know. And we're not so much of a Greek, but we have great Greek recipes and food. And we know not so much of a Cajun, because we don't have alligator tails and stuff like that. But
You kept the name though, yeah. So the name Cajun Greek doesn't necessarily mean they have a lot of Cajun items on the menu or a lot of Greek items on the menu. It was this name that's like passed down through generations of owning this business, and they just kept the name and let it evolve as it's gotten to this point. And now they have a lot of Cajun things on the menu. They got a little bit of Greek things on the menu, but they have a lot of other stuff as well. And it's really just a fun name for a tasty restaurant. That sauce is amazing. I'm over here like dripping on myself.
yeah, it's a French Cajun sauce, very creamy. Got a lot of stuff into it.
I was like, how do you use napkins when you got gloves on? You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen?
That's my invention too.
Absolutely incredible sauce. It's buttery, but it also has a really nice spice to it, and it's creamy as well. So it also has a lot of body. It's a little bit thicker than a traditional butter sauce. Look at that, it comes right off the bone like that, right into the sauce.
It's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir.
The crunch that you got on the outside, the texture. Y'all know what you're doing.
It's a grilled snapper. We're trying. And now for the most famous for this season, you twist, suck the head, you got the tails, and this sauce on the side is always good for you, so that's how you do it.
The snapper is cut into sections, seasoned, and just grilled to perfection. Has a nice texture on the outside, and then you dip it in that sauce that comes on the platter. Shut your mouth. That is absolutely delicious. Amazing food. You guys know how to cook seafood out here. Whether it's Cajun or it's Greek, who cares? It's delicious. Thank you so much, Elon, Jessica. You guys rock. I'm gonna keep eating all this food with you guys.
Of course.
And I'm probably gonna try to eat that throat right there. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that throat looks like it's what's up.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, it just fell
Yeah.
apart. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you.
We're saving you some too, don't worry.
What makes Cajun Greek an ideal location for seafood lovers is that all their ingredients are sourced locally and sourced fresh. Except their crawfish, that's sourced from Louisiana, but everything else, they're doing the research, they're finding out where it's coming from, the boats that it's coming off of, and they're making sure you have the best product every time you come in to dine.
Later in the show, a place that's made its name as a seafood monger is now one of the hottest spots in town. Coming up next on Texas Eats, if you're thinking about getting some shrimp and stuff, we have the perfect place for you.
Welcome back to Texas Eats. When you're in Galveston, you gotta try one of the oldest restaurants in town, and that's Shrimp and Stuff. It's been here for 44 years. But they also have a new location that's been here for 6 years, and that's Shrimp and Stuff downtown. Let's go see what they're serving up. With me right here is Jeff Antonella, the owner out here at Shrimp and Stuff downtown, of course, and the original Shrimp and Stuff. And in front of us is some delicious food. This is like what you're known for. This is quintessential Shrimp and Stuff food.
Absolutely. This is the amazing fresh local seafood that we've been serving to the citizens and residents of Texas for the past 44 years.
44 years serving up all this delicious food right here.
This is our famous shrimp poor boy, and it's, you know, fresh local wild caught 31-35 brown shrimp. Oh yeah, yeah. And we've been delivering this product, you know, to many, many happy customers for many years.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's comfort food.
It is.
That is good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's it right there. That's the bite, y'all. When you think of classic traditional Southern food, the po' boy always comes up. And when you're doing it right, you got something really awesome on the menu. And that's what they're serving up. They got the nice bun on the outside, toasted, the lettuce, the tomatoes, the sauce, and then the fried shrimp on the inside. And these are big shrimp. This isn't the little guys and they're stacking it full of the little ones. This is a big old shrimp, done right, fried to perfection. It's a solid po' boy if you're looking for an authentic po' boy taste.
This is an island classic. This is fresh caught Gulf red snapper, and it's grilled. You can get it grilled or broiled. And these two items, the fresh snapper and the Gulf shrimp, is what brings people to Galveston, you know?
Yeah.
You come to Galveston for snapper and for shrimp, you know?
Look at that. Flaky white fish.
Oh, yeah.
Seasoned on the outside, has a nice little texture on there.
There you go.
Whoa!
That's the real deal.
That butter sauce is insane.
Yeah, yeah.
If fish was a candy, this would be like the candy of fish. It's seasoned perfectly. And then you have that butter on there that just adds this next level of flavor to it. Butter makes everything better. Butter's better. Then this little rice on the side.
That's our jalapeno rice.
Great flavor. Fresh veggies.
Yep.
This is amazing.
This is the island food. This is what Galveston is.
And nothing says Texas like a Gulf snapper.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Give me that for this one.
There you go.
You guys know what you're doing out here. Red snapper out here is like the ultimate comfort food dish. Cooked to perfection, nice and tender and flaky. You have a really awesome seasoning put on the outside of it, but it's the butter sauce that makes it the home run dish that it is. Seeps into all the little cracks and crevices of the fish. So every bite you're taking, it has the butter, it has the seasoning, it has the texture you want from a flaky white fish. That's the best snapper I've had so far on the island.
But this is what we call the shrimp salad stack, with the shrimp salad, avocados, tomatoes, little pico in there, with a basil sauce. Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's a delight, isn't it? Fresh.
Jeff, you guys know how to do crazy stuff out here. It's
man.
creamy, it's fresh, but the pico de gallo has this really nice bright like flavor to it.
Yeah.
And then you kick it up with that avocado again, so you get more creamy on the bottom.
Right.
But in the shrimp, it's chunks of shrimp. It's not pieces.
Right.
Those are big old chunks.
Right.
That is amazing.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
If you want something fresh with a lot of flavor, you gotta try the shrimp salad. It comes in a really fancy presentation. It has like this stack, looks like they used a ring of sorts, like a cup, and then they layered it. The avocado, the pico de gallo, then you have that shrimp salad on there. Really nice bite. The vinegar from the pico de gallo, that bite helps really round everything out. The avocado's creamy, the salad itself is creamy, and then it's the chunks of shrimp that are in there that bring this thing home. You get your little piece of bread, you have the salad on the side, you mix it all together. It's a really nice dish. The po' boy, the Gulf snapper, the shrimp salad, you can't go wrong with any of these items. Well, I'm gonna keep eating this, man. This is absolutely great. Thanks for having us out here.
No, thank you for coming down.
Oh my gosh, this snapper is where it's at.
Enjoy, enjoy.
Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Later in the show, in the mood for some delicious pizza pie? Mama Teresa's high-flying pizza has got you covered. Coming up next on Texas Eats, a place that's made its name as a seafood monger is now one of the hottest spots in town.
Welcome back to Texas Eats. We're here on historic Pier 19 in Galveston, Texas, to go inside of a seafood restaurant that was created by a seafood mongering business that has now created one of the biggest seafood restaurants here in town. Let's go inside Katie's Seafood House. With me right here is Kevin Gant. He is a server out here at Katie's Seafood House. And right in front of us, we have two different dishes. We have an appetizer and an entree. They both look delicious. What are we looking at, man?
So today, for the appetizer, we're gonna have our seafood nachos. It's gonna be a take on a classic nacho dish. You're gonna have your actual nachos, some pico de gallo, some of our homemade cream sauce, and then after that, it's gonna have some shrimp and little bits of fish inside. You're getting quite a bit of protein. One of my favorite dishes, one of my favorite little snack foods. Love to come in for happy hour and get it.
Oh man, you got a good one. All right, I got some goodness. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Punch bomb.
That was really good.
That's really good. The sauce that's on top is killer. Great seasoning, nice and creamy, and then you put that little bit of lemon on there. It cuts through everything. The pico de gallo has a nice bright flavor to it as well. Chips are crunchy, they got a great texture. A little bit of seafood on there really helps sell this whole thing. They're like the ultimate seafood appetizer.
I would say so.
It's
I
really
would say
good.
so.
Yeah, that's really good. Seafood nachos, it's exactly what you think it is. It's crispy chips covered in cheese. You have this really exotic sauce put on top. It's creamy, it's got a little spice to it. And then you have the shrimp, chunks, and flaky white fish put on top there as well. Pico de gallo. Absolutely fantastic. A great way to start your meal out, especially if you're gonna come here for happy hours, told it's about $6 when you get it. That's a crazy deal. This is like over the top. This one looks like something you would see in Coastal Living magazine or something like that. Talk to me, what's going on?
So what we did here, not too many places do this whatsoever. This is gonna be a boudin baked stuffed amberjack. Amberjack, it's a deeper sea fish. You catch it at, I wanna say about 400 to 500 feet down. It's a firmer fish, almost like mahi.
Get a little bite of that. Oh, we got cheers, man. We're gonna go for it. Yeah, we got, it's customary. There we go. Oh. Oh, wow. Overall, the sauce is so light. The flavors are there, but it's not like overbearing. The fish stands out. It's still the star of the dish. And then you have these two little shrimp that are all married on top.
Oh, yeah.
You know I gotta go for that. There we
You
go.
wanna go for that? I'll go with
Some
you.
Gulf shrimp. Cooked to perfection, nice and tender. That little sauce that's on here really just helps everything become its own little dish. Like that little Cajun flair gets added onto it, that extra spice. Really good. The entree I had is called a chef's recommendation. It is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's the amberjack stuffed with boudin, shrimp on top, and then you have the fresh veggies and some roasted red potatoes on the side. The ultimate combination of flavors for the seafood dish that you want, especially when you're sitting right next to the water like this. Nothing is better than this. The seafood flavor on the fish is really light, the sauce was delicate, and then you have the shrimp on top, nice and tender, veggies on the side cooked perfectly, a nice little bite still to them, and then the potatoes have a little char on the outside, nice and creamy on that as well. You can't go wrong when you order this dish. Give me some love.
There you go.
Dude, you sold this thing to me. I'm gonna come back. This is where I'm coming when I come back out here. Delicious stuff, man. I'm gonna keep
Thank
eating.
you.
And the potatoes are so buttery and good. This is where it's at. Good job, man.
Thank you.
A business predominantly known for providing the fish has a restaurant that they're cooking up the fish and they're serving killer seafood, amazing cocktails, and of course, great appetizers as well. Katie's Seafood House is the place to come out to in Galveston if you want to sit next to the water and have a really nice meal and enjoy it with really good company and a great staff.
Coming up next on Texas Eats, in the mood for some delicious pizza pie? Mama Teresa's high-flying pizza has got you covered.
Welcome back to Texas Eats. We're wrapping up our stay here in Galveston by going inside one of the wildest pizza places here in Texas. And also happening right behind us is one of the largest Mardi Gras parades outside of the state of Louisiana. Let's go check it out. With me right here is Carmen Malili. He's the owner-operator out here at Mama Teresa's Flying Pizza. And it really is flying in here. It's like you guys are throwing the pizzas up to the ceiling.
15 feet.
That is insane. Yeah. Now, as the owner-operator, is it a trade that you've learned that you're now teaching other people in here, or how does that work?
Well, I mean, we started in Bolivar, back in 1983. We got wiped out by Hurricane Ike. In 2008, we relocated here. 2015, we've been here 4.5 years. And, of course, you got to teach the younger guys how to do this because you can't do it forever. But we're loving Galveston, and Galveston's loving us. I mean, I learned along the way. I mean, working places and stuff. My mom's always been in the kitchen kind of person, She's more about all the dishes that come out of the kitchen. Lasagna, manicotti, eggplant parmesan. I just fell in love making pizzas. I guess they call it New York style. Okay. I mean, it's not a super thin crust, but it's not a thick crust. So it would be New York style, I would say. Yeah.
Cheers to you.
Thank you.
There's pizza that you think that, like, when you dream of pizza, you're like, I want the cheesy, I want the goopy, I want everything. This is the pizza that you want when you wake up after a good dream of pizza.
I agree with that.
It is melty. The crust on the outside has a really nice texture to it. Nice and tender, though, on the inside. Just the right amount of sauce. It's not overbearing. It's not pouring out the sides. The cheese is the feature here. And then you have the pepperoni slices that have that little char on the outside. And they've been cooked just right. That's absolutely incredible. And I like the crust on there. I love eating the good crust.
The crust is excellent.
Yeah. Look at that, man. Incredible. Now, we gotta try the cheese pizza. There you go. Bam.
That's gonna be really hot.
It's just everything you want from a pizza. You're like a star in here, right? Everybody knows.
I know my clientele. I should. I definitely love it here.
Now, there's other Italian restaurants on the island. Yeah. But I would definitely say yours is known for the pizzas.
I agree. I guess, when you're called Mama Teresa's Flying Pizza, people think pizza first. But if you get the white clam sauce or the shrimp Alfredo, lasagna, manicotti, we make everything from scratch. You may change your mind and say, you know what, pizza's great, but that kitchen's pretty good too.
Nice. Carmen, I gotta say, man, pizza's absolutely incredible. I can't wait to try the other items on your menu. But thanks for having us in here tonight.
Definitely.
It's Fat Tuesday of all days to be out here in Galveston, man. It's crazy out there.
It's great.
But incredible. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Thank you so much.
Great meeting you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on our tour of Galveston, Texas. Catch us every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on KSAT 12. And follow Texas Eats on social media at KSAT Texas Eats on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Because this is how Texas eats.